Good morning, everybody. Welcome. Thank you so much for being here. I am joined as always by my good friend Joe Dolio. Joe, how are you doing this morning?
Hey, well and good. I've got power for the longest running continuous stretch in the last 6 days, so we're
Is
in
this the
good
warmest
shape.
you've been?
Yeah. It's been pretty cool. I haven't had to have a giant dog keep me warm, so we're doing okay. Life in Montana is life in Montana. Who knew? We got about 16 inches of snow here at the camp, all of it within a 36-hour stretch, and it will be 60 degrees by Friday. So pretty amazing weather out here, but good times.
Not bad. Yeah, I heard we're supposed to have like 80s down here by Friday, so I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, definitely. But it did give me a chance to drive the white truck that a lot of you have seen out here, the really cool older Ford giant monster snowplow truck, and I had a good time with that.
Nice. Well, as you guys can see, we are short one Scott today.
We are scot-free. We're going to get away scot-free today.
I actually was not expecting this one. Apparently Joe was, but I didn't hear that he was not going to be here, so I don't know. But yeah, beware the Ides of March, all those. Welcome, everybody. Let's see. Janine Rogers, CWSB. Let's see. I'm pretty sure I saw Juan Gringo in there earlier. I haven't seen Juan in a long time. Limey, good afternoon, I should say. You Brits. Hope everybody's having a good time. We have an interesting show for you today.
She may well be a Brit, but she's in Mississippi, or Alabama, one of those two. So,
okay, all right. I wondered what was going on with that.
But I'll tell you, I overslept this morning because it's the first night where I slept with warmth, so I might have crashed a little harder than planned.
Well, I'm not gonna lie, folks. I have a tendency to get right into the stuff. We have a lot of odds and ends before we even get into the regular show today, and we're gonna start with one that I personally found very funny, funnier than any AI video I've seen all week. I'll put it that way for sure. This is kind of a story in 3 parts, Joe. I don't know if you saw this, but Part 1, Tucker Carlson comes out to say that he's being spied on by the CIA. Actually, let me play some of that. Let me give you some audio.
I love how he says to frame you for a crime. Well, if they're reading your texts, they're not being framed. They're literally just gathering evidence.
Shh, you're not supposed to notice that, Joe.
How dare they read my texts and see exactly what I've been doing?
All right, give me a second. It's not pulling up the right one for whatever reason. Oh, I have an idea. I know what to do. So we go like this first, and then I go like that. Ha! All right, cool. So let's watch a little bit of this.
So the other day I found out that the CIA is preparing some kind of criminal referral against me, a crime report to the Department of Justice on the basis of a supposed crime I committed. What's that crime? Well, talking to people in Iran before the war. They
not people in Iran. No.
Well,
I don't think the CIA
is technically true. They are people.
Well, sure, but I don't think the CIA is going to care much if he was interviewing Gularb, the street corner salesman,
the guy who runs a falafel stand.
Yeah, right. Like nobody's going to care about that. That's not why we were interested.
My texts. So the crime under consideration apparently would be the Foreign Agent Act or something like that, acting as an agent of a foreign power.
So yeah, it turns out that if you do take money in order to advocate for people that are not U.S. citizens and you are lobbying against U.S. interests, you're supposed to. Gee, what was it, Joe? There's a thing you're supposed to do. Oh, right, register
paper. Yeah,
it's all. That's literally all you have to do. It's a sheet of paper. It says, "I acknowledge that I'm doing this and I'm getting paid for it." It's not illegal as long as you fill out the sheet of paper.
As long as you tell them that's what you're doing.
He didn't do that, but interesting news though, folks, because this is only part 1 of our story today. Part 2 is everybody laughed at him pretty hard for a long time. But then part 3 was people inside the administration have come out to say not true, not in the least bit true. Not only are we not looking at charging him, we also are not tapping his phone. So maybe they should have been, though, is what I'm hearing.
Right.
So yeah, there is no CIA investigation to Carlson. Gee. Well, to be very clear there, Mr. Baller, if it were true, which again, it's not, but if it were true, they wouldn't actually be reading an American's text. They would be reading an Iranian's text. They would just so happen to have been texting an American.
Yeah. What's funny is watching his fall. Tucker Carlson used to be pretty solid, great source of info, but man, once he got all that Fox News money gone away, he decided to take money from whoever, right?
I think that's part of it. I think another part of it is honestly the same symptom that we see with just about every kind of great man figure creator who isn't really up to scratch. Like there's a lot of ones that we're finding out really weren't that good on their own. They had a team that was really good, right?
Yeah.
And I'm getting a feeling like that's what went on with Tucker, is that Tucker had a really good team of writers and a really good team of researchers. And when he left Fox, they didn't come with him.
Right. Well, he was looking for the money.
Facts.
And ironically, certain actors in the Middle East pay really well to influence American media.
Particularly right now in this moment. Correct. You know what? Actually, American Dreamer here might have a good point. He was already wealthy. It probably was for attention. And that is a factor we can't overlook. The people who tend to get into, shall we say, high acting roles and or news roles where they're the face person on the news do tend to be of a certain personality type that is manipulated in one particular easy way. But moving on from Tucker's fall to grace, he might have done it for the money, but you know who did it just straight up for the love of the game? Angela Merkel, turns out. She flat out came out on an interview and admitted that she flooded her country with third worlders specifically to prevent AfD from getting elected. I can only say that if the AfD had their way, it wouldn't be wanted here either, you know? In reference to how we're bringing over thousands of third worlders and they're just having their way and nobody wants that.
Well, nobody likes Hitler's granddaughter.
Right?
Yeah.
It's kind of flabbergasting when they come out and just say it. It's amazing. Yeah, if you guys want to watch it, there's a full 2-minute clip. I'm not going to go through and read the whole thing, but she basically comes out and admits the whole thing. Like, yeah, we flooded the country with foreigners because
imagine
AfD was getting more popular even then.
I don't care what my people want. I have to import people who think the way I like so that my people don't get what they voted for.
Mm-hmm.
I need to dilute the vote of the actual citizens. Almost like that's what they're doing in America. Weird.
Democracy is when you choose your electorate, right? Am I doing this right?
Hey, listen, let me just point out reference to the Rumble chat. If you dare me, it will happen, right? I mean, you come in here and start calling us names and say bye like 13 times. Eventually, we will just make you go goodbye. See
Seriously.
you. Have fun. Anyway, go ahead.
We could show you the button if you need it. But speaking of weird and unusual occurrences, wars, rumors of wars, earthquakes, floods, fires, and blizzards in Hawaii. Oh, oops, wrong tab. There you go. Yeah, blizzards in Hawaii. Joe?
So when I was told this story existed last night, I was like, wait, what? Some parts of Hawaii are facing up to 20 inches of snow. Granted, that's in the mountains, but blizzard conditions, pretty bad storm, lots of rain. It's causing a lot of mudslides and a lot of traffic problems. It's crazy. I just thought it would be great to point out that, yep, in 2026 is the year we're having blizzards in Hawaii. So you could tell me there's not a weather weapon out there, but you'd be wrong. And Hunch Dirty Roofer, the next time I see you, I'm going to stab you because Joe most certainly was not a soldier.
Yeah. Not a mistake you're liable to make twice. You are correct. They do have a ski resort on the Big Island. It does snow there occasionally. Not like this and not this late in the season.
Yeah.
Particularly how are they getting snow in Hawaii when I am up here in one of the northern states and I can't even get an inch this year?
That's what she said. Anyway, yeah. Well, here though, we had the opposite problem because Mother Nature was like, "Oh, it's Northwest Montana. I forgot to do winter. Let me give it all to them in 3 days," and it went as expected.
Just dump it on after, right?
Yeah.
Well, Joe, our next story is somebody who decided to make an incredibly bad decision. You know, Joe, if I knew that there was a man I didn't like who was famous for defending his home and business against people trying to threaten him with violence, with a very effectively, I might add, with a rifle, you know what I would not do?
I would not stand below a rooftop and do anything. What is that?
That is a bottle of lighter fluid.
Look at okay, I got to say this yet again. Here is Antifa
the strike through
using the Iron Front symbol, right?
Yeah.
This tells me they have no idea what the Iron Front was because Iron Front was not only anti-fascist, they were also anti-communist. And Antifa is entirely communist.
And illiterate.
Well, yes, there is that.
But yeah, apparently they came and hassled Tony Moon. Not a good plan. Would not do that twice. Stand by for more on that story as it develops, I would say.
I will point out that Tony Moon's doing the Asian thing and driving a hybrid, but hey.
Asian gonna Asian, right?
Asian's gonna Asian. We give Tony a pass.
All right. And then I think it's their last odds and ends. And Joe, you shared this one. What am I looking at here?
So what you are looking at is Don as an Afghani. Right, Don al-Afghani, who is a terrorist. Take that middle photo and tell me that is not Don Workman right there. You can't because it is. And look at the far right one with him in Tehran in 2012. Again, Don. So I just wanted to point this out. And I hope that everyone gives him a hard time about it because that is clearly Don or his cousin, one or the other.
I just want to know why he didn't wear this getup during the whole kerfuffle. He got right out of trouble, you know?
Right. He would have, he would have let go instantly. But, hey.
Well, that's our odds and ends for today, folks. Joe, do you want to tell the folks a little bit about Tactical Wisdom?
Yeah, let me start off by saying that for those of you who are looking forward to the next installment of the On Resistance to Evil by Force study on locals, I'm back on that. The weather being out kind of limited my ability to get online and do that. So we'll put that out and along with some more tips from this last weather issue. Let me just say this, that if your power's been out for a significant amount of time, the first thing you should do immediately when it comes back on is start charging things, because it might go off again. Anywho, all right. So we had to cancel some classes this weekend, but coming up, we have Fieldcraft this weekend, followed by unarmed self-defense and knife tactics the following. So lots of good things going on next Saturday. We may have to alter that, though, because of the No Kings 2.0 protest. But we have a lot of classes on the schedule. Check out all of the classes coming up, including not just mine, but also NC Scouts classes here. I believe Tony from Wyoming Survival is going to be adding a radio class out here. And then we also have Joel from War Lizard Tactical coming out here to teach July 17th to the 19th. Radio Made Easy will be out here teaching right after Mountain Readiness. And we have Mountain Readiness July 24th through the 26th. Cool story about that. Last night, as part of the ongoing situations here with power outages and that, was the weekly Lincoln County, which is a county, 2 counties to the north of me, the Lincoln County Self-Reliance Network did their radio check-in. We advertised Mountain Readiness by ham radio last night. During the network, they said, "Do you have anything else you want to share with the net?" And I was like, "Yeah, actually I do." And so we did an ad over ham radio for Mountain Readiness, which I thought was kind of cool. But then again, I just realized I'm a radio nerd and the rest of you are not. So maybe it's not as cool as I think it is. But check that out. I had something else and I'm totally drawing a blank on it. So I don't know, whatever it is, I'll put something out later, but
go check out his Battle Box video.
What's that? Oh, I've got the
most recent Battle Box video.
I have the Battle Box video done. I just have to put it all together and put it out. So
good stuff.
Yes.
And I'll just be brief as always. We'd like to thank the folks over at brushbeater.store for supporting the folks over here at Future Conflicts. If you guys want to get a little bit of a discount on that gear, make sure to enter CFC10 for 5% off just about anything in the store. Yeah, treat yourself. Get yourself something nice. You deserve it.
Oh, I know what I was going to say. I'm going to drop a link in the chat, or actually Daisy probably will, because she does it quite well. We have, over the last 5 days, expended a lot of diesel and gasoline and chainsaw oil and all of that between the windstorm we had on Wednesday into Thursday and then the snowstorm we had all weekend, running plow trucks, tractors, chainsaws, all that. So if you've got $5, drop it into the Veterans Camp Ponderosa Fund. That would be helpful, because now we have to replenish all that. We got to go out and buy a whole bunch more Coleman fuel and all kinds of stuff like that, because we ran propane heaters all weekend. So give us a hand at Camp Ponderosa. So.
Appreciate you much, everybody. All right, and with that, let's roll on into our main topic. Joe, I was not paying attention to the news this weekend. I had family stuff going on, but I am told that the war between Pakistan and Afghanistan continues unabated.
Hey, yes, it was actually a pretty wild weekend between them in the midst of the Iran war. This one kind of is getting shuffled and hidden around. No one's paying attention to it, but Pakistan is lighting up the Taliban, and I'm here for it, even though Pakistan is an Iranian ally. Sometimes when the Bloods and the Crips fight and the Bloods are winning, you're like, yay, Bloods, but I'll still kill you. Anyway, Pakistan hit all kinds of spots this weekend, including an attempt on the Taliban's leader, which we'll get to in a minute. But this was a series of strikes around Kandahar last night that got pretty wild.
Excellent. Well, let's read some of it. Pakistan says it hit militant target hideouts in Afghanistan's Kandahar as fighting shows no let up. Islamabad, Pakistan. Pakistan said Sunday it targeted militant hideouts in Afghanistan's Kandahar region overnight as the fighting that erupted between the two neighbors last month showed no signs of abating. Cross-border fighting, which has included Pakistani airstrikes in the Afghan capital Kabul, is the deadliest yet between the two South Asian nations. South Asian, doing a lot of work there. Islamabad, Islamabad has referred to the conflict as an open war, adding to concerns about regional stability as the U.S.-Israel war with Iran engulfs the Middle East and beyond. In a post on X, Pakistan's information minister Atullah Tarar said that the military had struck equipment storage facilities and technical support infrastructure in overnight attacks in Kabul. And I'm hearing in other places too that they're trying to take out the leader of the Taliban.
Yes, they missed him, but they did attempt to get him. We have another story further down about that.
Okay. Well, I'll wait till we get there. Let's see. Pakistan's president says Afghan Taliban forces crossed a red line with drone attacks on civilians. Now, it does appear that both sides are blaming each other for the civilian casualties. I am a lot more likely, I can't believe I'm saying this out loud, but given the choice between the two, I'm a lot more likely to believe Pakistan. What a world.
Well, let me just say, color me shocked that either side here would target civilians.
Unheard of. Utterly unheard of, Joe.
Unheard of. Unprecedented.
Pakistan's president Saturday warned neighboring Afghanistan's tribal government that it had crossed red line by launching drone attacks in civilian areas in Pakistan. And hours later, the country reportedly conducted strikes on an Afghanistan drone storage facility. The statement by Asif Ali Zadari was the latest in what has become the deadliest fighting yet between the two South Asian neighbors. The cross-border clashes, which erupted last month, have shown no signs of abating despite efforts by China and Turkey to broker a ceasefire, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. China is pushing on this pretty hard to seemingly no avail. Pakistan said its forces intercepted the drones launched Friday, but that falling debris injured 2 children in the city of Quetta and 2 people elsewhere in the country. According to state-run media, Pakistan's Air Force carried out strikes later Saturday in Afghan's southern Kandahar province, targeting an Afghan military facility that has been used to launch drone attacks into Pakistan a day earlier, and the facility that also being used by the Pakistani and Afghan tribes for acts of terrorism in Pakistan. So it sounds like mostly it's just been raiding parties going across the border. Am I wrong?
No, that's exactly right. That's what the whole thing started was Taliban launching cross-border raids into Pakistan. So, and now they're both doing it. So,
one of them's doing it a lot better armed, though.
Yeah, you notice that there are no Afghani airstrikes. They're Afghani either artillery or ground strikes. So, because the Afghans do not maintain one piece of air equipment that we left behind for them.
I'm not sure they know what the word maintain means. I'm not even joking around when I say that. Like, legitimately, I'm not even sure their culture has a word for that.
Yeah, just fly stuff till it breaks. Get new stuff.
Pretty much. Pakistan accused the Afghan tribal government of harboring Pakistani militant groups, mainly the Pakistani Taliban, that crossed the porous, volatile border between the two countries to stage attacks against Pakistani forces, and also of allying with its arch rival India. Really? Now that is one I hadn't actually heard yet. Is that just something like Pakistans are going to say anytime anybody is out and about, or is there actually cooperation between India and Afghanistan?
I don't know. I would be surprised if there was.
Yeah, that would also shock me.
Yeah. So I don't know about that one.
But moving on. I think this is more of the same, really. Let's see. Pakistan's targeting hideouts. Yeah, this is just another one in the Kandahar, but this has got some interesting photos I thought we'd go through. Hey, You know who probably built this?
It looks like high quality construction.
It does, doesn't it? You know,
Mhm.
it kind of says CBs to me.
Mm.
Oh man. Afghan government spokesperson said Pakistan had hit 2 locations. The site. So this is what Afghan claims that the sites were security guards used during the day that was empty at night and a drug rehabilitation center. I don't believe you.
They're claiming that about all of these former NATO bases. Oh, we've turned them all into drug treatment centers. No, you didn't. You're just saying that to try to drum up some sort of sympathy for what's going on there. So.
Am I wrong in saying, like, I'm not even like saying this is a joke. If I remember correctly, like the standard treatment for drug addiction and alcohol abuse and that kind of stuff in most of these Middle Eastern countries is we beat you until you stop.
That's for the first offense. The second offense, they generally shoot you.
Yeah. So drug treatment center. Pakistan Information Minister rejected the claims as propaganda. Fair. A small drone was struck down and no military installation or infrastructure was hit. Let's see. Oh, we got some video. Pakistan bombs Kabul. Oh, don't do that to me. Apparently they took the video down. Tease me with video like that. Ugh.
Shame.
Let's see. But lest you think this is all just Pakistan and Afghanistan, it turns out another challenger may have entered the chat. Joe, do you remember when Pakistan looked like it might be going to war with India over this water situation 4 or 5 months ago?
Mm-hmm.
Turns out that didn't go away.
Right? Hey, the water is still there, the river is still there, and it's still in India.
Last week, water became a focal point in the Iran war as airstrikes hit desalination plants in Iran and Bahrain. Further east, a slower motion water war was playing out, one that is heightening tensions between 2 nuclear-armed powers. Shapur Kandi Dam project was first conceptualized in the late 70s. In 1982, former Indian Prime Minister Indira Gandhi laid its foundation stone and set a 1988 deadline for the project, but interstate conflict between Punjabi, Jammu, and Kashmir stalled construction for decades. It wasn't until 2018 that the Indian and Pakistani governments reached an agreement and the dam construction regained momentum. Now, almost 50 years after the dam was first envisioned, it is expected to be completed by March 31st. Oh, damn. Pun intended. The dam sits on the Punjab, Jammu, and Kashmir border. It will not stop the flow of water from the Ravi River entirely, but it will effectively reduce the surplus river water flowing into Pakistan and ensure that India captures and uses water that is previously allowed to pass downstream unused. So that's going to be bad. There are going to be a lot of Pakistani tribesmen that are going to be very angry about the reduced amount of water, even if their government did agree to it many years ago. Experts point out the timing of the dam construction may reflect increasingly strained relations between New Delhi and Islamabad. Last year, following a terrorist attack that killed 26 people, India charged Pakistan-based militant groups for the massacre and put the Indus Waters Treaty in abeyance. If you guys remember, they did just shut off the water. There's a case going on about whether the suspension is meaningful or not. An assistant professor at the Department of Urban and Environmental Policy and Planning at Tufts University says, but they're starting to see that the norm that has been established for over 60 years no longer holds. What happens next is anybody's guess. Yeah, and apparently India is saying that this week they killed another Pakistani terrorist trying to sneak across their border. So I would look for tensions to start escalating between these two neighbors as well.
Again,
How much of this? How much of this?
These two have been at war since about 1947,
Yeah.
when Pakistan was created. Pakistan, what a lot of people don't remember, but Pakistan was not a country beforehand. It was part of India, excuse me, called Muslim India, and was broken off into a new country.
How much of this do you think is tensions that would have already erupted, and how much of this do you think is just that while the U.S. is distracted, regional players are going to try and make the most of it?
I think that I think this is just generational hatred between the two, and it's not going to get any better. And I think that they've always been fighting ever since the Sultan began to fight the Tipu, which was, I don't know, 1801, 1802. So this has been just a long-standing feud between the two of them. And I couldn't care less which one wins, because no matter who wins, we all lose. So, because they're all going to come here as H-1Bs at some point.
Claim war refugee status. Yep.
We could actually call this the H-1B reduction war if they actually start fighting. Whichever side kills more of the others, it's that many fewer H-1Bs that will come here.
Now, I will say there is one potential benefit to this, and that is I think that if Pakistan and India go to war and India starts a draft, there may be less people being allowed to come to America.
One could hope. One could hope.
But don't worry, Joe. It's going to end soon because China's swept in, and they're going to ease tensions in the area.
Yeah, because China has massive mineral enrichment investments in Afghanistan. And like, hey, man, don't break my stuff. And Pakistan's like, I do not care. I will be breaking your stuff. Here's a squishy. And they're going to continue. So,
yeah. Well, you'd think China would say, hey, man, all this investment we've given you, the least you could do is not screw up our deal, right? But as we have learned with dealing with Pakistan, no, they're just going to do whatever the hell they want. Doesn't matter how much you give them. Let's see. Shanghai, Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi told his Afghan counterpart Amir Khan Matik that in a phone call that disputes between Afghanistan and Pakistan should be resolved through dialogue and consultation, not force.
You know, as bad as the Chinese accent is when you hear them speaking English, can you imagine it with them speaking Arabic? Trying to speak to an Afghan? Whoo!
Oh, man. It would be an interesting time. The further use of force would only complicate the situation and intensify tensions. Yeah, something tells me I don't think this is going to get resolved anytime soon.
Yeah,
thanks for trying, though, China.
Neither side cares what anyone else has to say. They've hated each other for decades. So,
I guess we've got one more. I think you slipped this one in there from Sarah Fields.
There's a couple of them. Yeah, this is Sarah's assessment of the battle damage in Kandahar overnight.
Okay.
Pretty serious stuff. You're gonna have to read it because I can't see it on my screen.
Yeah, I'll read over it, no problem. On March 14th, 2026, the Pakistan military conducted a series of airstrikes across Kandahar province, killing more than 100 terrorists across multiple targets. All of the following occurred in a short time window just before 2200. The biggest event was the airstrike that hit Camp Gecko. Minutes later, additional airstrikes were carried out in the 11th Security District, targeting one of Al-Qaeda's primary external operational training camps, a facility used for Al-Qaeda's U.S. homeland plot. Frankly, this is a target the United States should have already dealt with itself, but in the absence of an effective counterterrorism policy, it is one our government should be thanking them for hitting. A separate drone strike also targeted GDI's Kandahar Provincial Intelligence Directorate headquarters in the Shorendam area of the 5th Security District. Another drone strike hit the Taliban and TTP Abu Dujan during training Dujan training camp. located adjacent to Ahmad Shah Baba International Airport and the Taliban's National and Islamic Police Training Center. The 205th Al-Bar Corps military garrison inside Kandahar International Airport was also targeted again in these strikes. Good stuff.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Hey, it's ironic, though, that Pakistan has used the opportunity to completely destroy all of the former U.S. bases in the area, and they're just living out a fantasy, right? Now that the Americans are gone, I can destroy that NATO base that was there. So, good for them.
Let's see. And one last thing from Sarah Field. She says, Pakistani military attempts assassination of Taliban supreme leader. I'm not even going to attempt that one at Camp Gecko. Pakistan's military conducted a strike today on the current hiding location of Taliban supreme leader in Kandahar. Early reports indicate approximately 25 dead and more than 30 injured. The strike hit the grounds where he was believed to have been hiding for the past several weeks, but there is no confirmation of his status. He was reportedly deep under the ground, so the strikes may have only impacted the outer layers of the security detail. All right, well, we'll look for more of that, and definitely not going to shed any tears over that, asshole.
Yes.
Well, all right.
This is totally completely unrelated, but I have to bring it up because there are some of you who were at the Brush Beater SIGINT course over the weekend, and some of you who are in the L Detachment chat. The proper term for the Chudian Defense Forces is not Chudian, it's Chudari. Just so you know. It's Chudari.
I like that.
It's an inside joke, and some of you will get it, and it's good. So,
well, for our next update, we're going to move into some Iran talk, and I'm not going to lie, folks, we're burning through topics fast, so probably expect about an hour today. But we've got our first update from CENTCOM. We won't watch the whole thing, but we'll watch a bit.
Hi, I'm Admiral Brad Cooper, the commander of U.S. Central Command, here to provide another update on Operation Epic Fury. First, I want to remember and honor our fallen warriors who made the ultimate sacrifice in the KC-135 refueling aircraft incident last week. We hold their memories and their families, their friends and their teammates in our prayers. Their selfless service and dedication hardens our resolve. For 16 days, we've delivered overwhelming firepower deep into Iran. This past Friday, U.S. forces executed a large-scale precision strike on Karg Island, destroying more than 90 Iranian military targets, including storage bunkers for naval mines and missiles and other military infrastructure. To date, our Air Force, Navy, and Marine Corps aviators have collectively flown more than 6,000 combat flights, demonstrating the unmatched capability of America's joint force as we maintain air superiority over Iranian skies. We continue to remain centered on our military objectives. These are well-defined and include eliminating Iran's ballistic missiles, drones, and naval threats. It's one thing to defend by striking launchers and intercepting missiles and drones, but it's another thing to eliminate the wider manufacturing apparatus behind them. And we are doing that today. We've talked about it in concept. Here's what it looks like in reality. Let me show you, for the first time, a few examples of how we are dismantling Iran's defense industrial base, which will prevent threats to the region into the future. Here, you see a photo from March 1st of a naval drone storage facility located near the Strait of Hormuz. This is the same location, 8 days later, completely destroyed. Next, here's a photo taken of an attack drone production factory in Tehran on March 5th. Here's that same factory 6 days later after a devastating barrage of U.S. airstrikes. And finally, the Yazdi military depot, pictured here last month. These 8 buildings are part of the IRGC's missile command infrastructure and are used to produce light and heavyweight torpedoes. Now, here's that same military depot just last week, or what's left of it.
I love seeing battle damage assessment like this. This is good stuff.
U.S. and partner strikes are doing exactly.
Sorry, go ahead.
Now, I was just going to point out that if you haven't watched S2 Underground's weekly update this week that he calls Schrodinger's War, it's actually pretty darn good. is it points out this stuff here, like as Kevin Dorr says, blah, 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 propaganda. He said, like, the first week they said, we've totally destroyed Iran's military capability. Then the following day we said, but now we have completely destroyed it. And the day after that, we hit the same targets and say, now we have obliterated it. And we keep claiming victory over the same targets, right? So it's kind of hard to know. Both sides are using propaganda here. Both sides have completely destroyed everything. And the Lincoln has been sunk like 37 times. So.
Okay. That was a really cool image that my brain had to take a second. This is a canyon. I'm pretty sure, yeah. I'm pretty sure that's what we're seeing, is that's a canyon. That must be one of those missile bunkers that they had.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
Canyon will help channel your blast up and down it. So
let's see. No, it's true. We keep using kind of weird language to be able to communicate this. You can't continuously destroy someone's navy every day for an entire week. That's not how it works.
That's exactly the point he makes on there, is that every single day we've sunk their entire navy. And, however, if you look at their briefing documents, we will say that we do not yet have air superiority or air dominance. So we haven't destroyed the entire Iranian Air Force despite claiming that we have. So.
But I'll tell you one thing we do have a decent metric on. And we've been doing quite well, and that is destroying launchers, as we can see from this, which is our daily volume of missiles. Day 1, 346, day 2, 360, day 3, it dropped down to 150, and it stayed at about 150 until day 9. On day 10 through 15, they dropped to launching, tens of missiles per day, so up to 50 as low as 30. And then as of yesterday was the first day that they got single digits.
I think that this has to do with two factors. One, the hitting of the launchers, but more importantly, because they have millions of replacement launchers underground, or thousands anyway, is the death of the best personnel, right? Those guys probably all died on days 1 through 7. And now what you have are guys who are not as fast and not as good. And the problem that raises is it takes them longer to launch a missile. And so they're making the smart decision to not let those guys go out there and take 12 minutes to launch a missile, because we know that the average time it takes us to service a target is 8 minutes. So they don't want to be out there longer than is required, right? So they're trying to limit their exposure of what little they have left.
Makes sense. So while we've been making hay and pounding targets, the strait has remained closed, and it seems like Trump took a note out of our advice last week and decided to start leaning on our allies, but for some reason, not the right ones. He decided to turn directly to Europe. Which, okay, I mean, fair. It is Europe's gas. That's what we're defending, is we don't import oil from the Middle East. Europe imports oil from the Middle East. NATO's saying no. Trump declared, let's see, allies balk as Trump pushes joint military action to reopen Hormuz. Iran says no ceasefire on table. Trump declares victory while simultaneously urging coalition help. President Trump claimed the U.S. has essentially defeated Iran and vowed, "We will finish the job," while pressing NATO allies and other countries to join a naval coalition to reopen the Strait of Hormuz. I'm just going to stop here. I don't know why we're asking Europe. First of all, Europe doesn't actually have the vessels they would need in order to really pull this off. They could do it, but they'd be bringing very large, very expensive vessels into an area where they're really at risk. You know who has a whole bunch of small vessels that are literally purpose-built to counter Iran?
Who's that?
All of Iran's neighbors.
Well, that's true. I was thinking more like Greece, but yes, all of Iran's neighbors do.
Particularly if you start looking at the small boat fleets that the Saudis have put together, it's actually very impressive.
Yeah.
Anyways, Iran rejects ceasefire and signals escalation. Iranian FM foreign minister, I suppose, dismissed any truce, saying Tehran wants the war to end in a way that ensures enemies never again think of repeating these attacks. Well, you don't really have the ability to do that. So, all right. U.S. weighs major escalation in Karg Island. White House.
Let me address what you just said. They don't have the capability to do that militarily or from their nation state power. They do have the capability to do that from their proxies, and that's where they will probably strike back. So.
U.S. weighs so Karg Island. We bombed it, and now apparently we're looking at putting boots on the ground. Maybe. Considering seizing Iran's main oil exportation hub, I believe it's 90% of Iranian oil goes through Karg.
I don't know that that's the case. That's certainly not, I don't think, why the Marines are on their way there. If we were going to take Karg Island, we would probably take it by air. But it's too close to the Iranian mainland for us to take and hold without also taking and hold some of the mainland. So I don't know if that's true.
I don't think it is, but it's what everybody keeps saying in the media. Europe reluctant to join Hormuz operation. Germany outright rejects it alongside Italy and Greece. Trump warned of a very bad future for NATO if allies don't help reopen the strait. UK also says it won't be NATO-led.
UK exists solely because of the goodwill of NATO, right? NATO grew out of the Allies at the end of World War II, and Britain owes her entire existence to them. So they should probably shut up.
And then regional, meaning in Europe, oil shock intensifies. So President Trump and his top officials spent the weeks on the one hand touting an Iranian campaign as a decisive military win and supposed success, while on the other racing to assemble a coalition. Why do you act like those are two opposing things? They're not. Opening the strait is a matter of making commercial vessels believe that it's safe to go through. Not the same thing as striking targets.
I guarantee you that's the real purpose of the Marines, to put a squad on each freighter going through.
Yeah.
Therefore making it more risky for the Iranians to strike it. We've done this before.
Once or twice. Europe appears deeply reluctant, with some key NATO allies already slamming the door on the prospect. As far as I'm concerned, we have essentially defeated Iran, President Trump said in some of his later remarks aboard Air Force One. They want to negotiate badly, as they should, but I don't think they're ready to do what they have to do. We'll finish the job. But then on Monday, Iranian foreign... Yeah, we already went through that. Rejected the ceasefire. Still, Trump is pressing forward on plans for NATO to send allied ships, according to U.S. officials. Cited in the Wall Street Journal, there are plans for as soon as the week to announce that multiple countries have agreed to join a coalition escorting ships through the strait. All of this, and especially a timeline, still seems up in the air. Well, that's not exactly true. Commercial fleets have reported that the Navy has told them that it might be as soon as the end of the month. That's not promising.
Right.
And separately, per Axios, the White House is simultaneously considering the far more aggressive option of seizing Iran's main oil export hub on Karg Island, after much of it has been subject of heavy U.S. bombing, which started overnight Friday but reportedly left oil terminals and vital export infrastructure in place. That's mostly because we don't want to damage it for the next regime that takes in, because they're going to need that oil to rebuild. There remains widespread speculation that this is what the multi-thousand strong Marine Expeditionary Force currently en route is all about, raising the stakes, not states. Good Lord. Raising the stakes even higher. A direct Karg Island seizure would require American boots on the ground. As Joe pointed out, we couldn't just take the island. You would also have to take port facilities on the mainland opposing the island. Like the
At least to push the missile threat further away, right?
Yeah. A direct Carg Island seizure would require American boots in the ground already, as Iran's retaliatory blockade of the narrow strait has set oil and gas prices climbing as a major share of global crude supply remains effectively frozen. So they're saying they've already got allies signed on to help. I don't know who that would be. Most of NATO that has a navy to speak of has just said no. So I don't know. Maybe we'll get a Romanian cruiser down there, right?
Yeah. Actually, the Germans and the British have pretty good naval assets, but I don't know that they're going to use them.
Yeah.
Greece put her naval task force between Cyprus and Iran to act as an anti-aircraft defense, but won't commit to putting anything in the Gulf. The other major naval forces in the Gulf would be Russian and Chinese. And Trump did exactly what we challenged him to do on this show. We said, make China lay down a coin on this one. Ask them to escort the ships through and make China either say, no, I won't do it, or yes, I will, and force their hand. And he has asked them to, but they have said no so far.
As they're wont to do. Anything that makes him look bad is good for them. We have an update on the Supreme Leader. Lost one leg. Iran's new leader, Mojtaba Khomeini, secretly flown to Russia for surgery. Says
he doesn't have a leg to stand on.
Oh boy.
Couldn't resist. Could not resist.
The fog of war surrounding Iran's newly appointed Supreme Leader is finally lifting, and the reality exposes a deeply vulnerable regime. The airstrike injuries, while Iranian state media initially tried to project an image of invulnerability, diplomatic leaks have confirmed the new Supreme Leader was caught in the crossfire. Iran's ambassador to Cyprus confirmed to The Guardian that Mojtaba's sustained injuries in the February 28th bombardment, stating, I have heard that he was injured in his legs and hand and arm. I think he is in the hospital because he is injured. Because Mojtaba is physically unable to appear on camera, Tehran is running a massive digital cover-up. While his first official statement as Supreme Leader was released, it was merely a written message by a news anchor with zero audio or video. Furthermore, digital investigators at BBC verified discoveries that the new official profile picture of Mojtaba was heavily promoted by the state media is actually an old photo, artificially manipulated and scrubbed using AI to make it look recent. Treating a highly vulnerable, immobilized target in an active war zone where Israeli intelligence has deep penetration and is a massive security risk, according to the explosive report from the prominent Kuwaiti newspaper Al Jaradi, Mojtaba has been secretly evacuated from Tehran. The intelligence report claimed he was transported to Moscow on a highly secure Russian military aircraft for specialized medical treatment. I have a question. When did said supposed military aircraft take off and leave?
I suspect we do a lot of deconfliction and prevention of potential international incidents by having some back channel conversations with the Russians. And I'm sure they said, hey, look, man, we gotta land a plane. They might have lied and said it was to support their embassy or whatever. And so we probably gave them a window where they could safely land and safely take off. And that's how they got him out.
Huh. So the intelligence report claims he was transported to Moscow. This isn't a medical evacuation. It's a massive geopolitical power play. Look, you can frame it that way all you like. If you're the leader of a country, but you're not in that country, you're not the leader of that country. I don't know how to tell you this.
I'm reminded of a line from The Hobbit when the Goblin King captures Thorin, king under the mountain. He goes, "You're king under the mountain." He goes, "But you don't really have a mountain, do you? So I guess that makes you nobody. Here we are. You are nobody.
Yeah. So apparently they're going to try and use him as a shield.
Go back up to that cartoon image there for me. I was going to say this is the gayest thing I've ever seen, but it turns out it's the second gayest thing I've ever seen, because apparently Mojtaba is the gayest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah. The U.S. government is actively weaponizing Mojtaba's disappearance. In a recent radio interview, President Donald Trump bluntly questioned the Supreme Leader's status, stating, "I think he is damaged, but I think he's probably alive in some form." U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth took it a step further in a press briefing, officially stating that the U.S. intelligence know the leader is wounded and likely disfigured. Apparently that's not what this one is, so we'll get to that next one. Yeah, apparently it's more than that. Let's see. Let's find the article. Oh, there it is. So apparently Trump was briefed that Iran's new supreme leader is probably gay, which lines up with a lot of other reports that we've been seeing from other places, Joe.
Well, he does spend a lot of time in Europe.
And he's been very, very upset about inability to perform in the... oh, look at this. I'm so sorry. We have a guest that I didn't see. Welcome, Blaine.
Blaine,
I don't know how long ago you got here, but I did not hear it happen. I hope it wasn't long.
Hello, hello.
Yeah, we got
Hello
you.
and welcome.
All right.
How are you today?
I'm doing really good. You were on the subject of a potentially dead leader, so I had to weigh in. Let me give you some.
We're going to take credit for this, because last week when somebody said, well, they said he was unavailable for a public appearance, and I said we could do a medical emergency. I pointed out that having a bomb dropped on your head is indeed a medical emergency, and it turns out we were right.
Well, as you guys know, I always do my weekly updates.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, here's what the Iranians have been saying, the leadership or what's left of it have been saying about him. The reports that he's wounded are deep fakes. He's healthy and vigorous, sharp and engaged. They go on to say these are disgusting smear tactics, false, misleading conspiracy theory. Oh, wait, that's everything the Democrats said about Joe Biden.
You know what's funny is they can make all these claims, but they don't have a leg to stand on. I've used it twice in the same show.
I see what you did with that. You know you're on your hurting when you are literally propping up a dead man.
Kevin in the chat says he's gay, so he's in line to be a future GOP senator. But
you're not wrong. Yeah. So the shocking claim was described to the Post by two intelligence community officials and a third person close to the White House. All three sources say the implausible sounding allegation is viewed as credible by U.S. spy agencies rather than false information intended to undermine Khomeini, who was selected to replace his dead father as supreme leader on March 8th. Two of the sources said the intelligence indicates that Mojtaba, who earned the nickname the power behind the robes, was serving as his aging dad's gatekeeper and had a long-term sexual relationship with his childhood tutor. I assume that was the face that he made when he was told this information. Yes. Source said that the intelligence indicated the affair was with a person who formerly worked with the Khomeini family. U.S. spy agencies do not have photographic evidence of Mojtaba's alleged sexual attraction to men, but the source indicated the tip is solid, with one saying it was delivered from one of the most protected sources that the government has.
Did you just say the tip was solid? I just want to point out how funny that is. Just the tip?
The editor knew what they were doing.
There's a whole new line of Ayatollah jokes about to come out. Ayatollah, I only like boys. Who knows?
Honestly, though, I don't know. Well, I'll probably get in trouble for that. But with certain cultural proclivities that happen in that part of the world, one wonders how you would tell.
Right.
All I know is there's a lot of happy goats now.
So a little last thing here. Iran or U.S. intelligence shows that Iran's late supreme leader was very wary of his son taking power, sources say. U.S. intelligence has circulated to President Trump into a small circle around him that Iran's late supreme leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei had misgivings about his son replacing him. Multiple sources familiar with the matter told CBS News. The analysis shows that the elderly Khamenei... Oh, go ahead.
There are two sons. He had picked his other son personally to be his successor. But that son will not be joining us for the rest of his life. So this guy was the second string.
So you're saying that we forced the Fredo on him?
Yes.
Yeah.
We had to bring one son back from Djibouti in order to make this happen. So
the analysis shows the elder Khamenei was wary of his son ever taking power because he was perceived as not very bright and was viewed as unqualified to be leader. The information gathered also indicated that the father was aware that his son had issues in his personal life, according to sources with the administration, the intelligence community, and people close to the president. Mojtaba Khomeini, 56, was selected to become Iran's supreme leader last week by the country's Council of Religious Clerics after serving as a close aide to his father for years. After about 8 days earlier, Ali Khamenei was killed. We've said this probably 30 times today. Mr. Trump, Vice President J.D. Vance, and other senior officials have been briefed on the intelligence about the younger Khomeini. In private conversations, Mr. Trump has told people close to him that he doesn't know that the information conveyed to him about Mojtaba Khomeini matters. He thinks that Iran is essentially leaderless now, while the young Khomeini possibly is dead. I think either way, Iran is leaderless now. According to reports, if he's alive, he's been whisked off to Russia. And again, if you're the supreme leader of a country and you're not in that country, you're not the supreme leader of that country.
Well, I don't know. I remember 1979, we had the Ayatollah living in Paris, and he was calling the shots of what was going on in Iran.
One could say the same about Reza Pahlavi as well.
Yeah. Or less.
It's kind of hard to be a king of the country in London. So.
Let's see. This next one's from you, Joe. I thought this was odd.
What's that?
Well, I'll bring it up, but apparently, supreme religious leader, all around terrible person, and hotel magnate.
Oh, yeah. So if you wanted proof that he was gay, he spends time in Europe because he owns a whole bunch of property there.
That was so good.
He owns a whole chain of hotels in the greater European area. So interesting. I hate the decadent West, except for I like their money. So,
and the decadence, apparently. Investigation was traced to reported $400 million in European property empire, including luxury hotels in Frankfurt, to associates of Mojtaba Khomeini. Following the assassination of Ayatollah Ali Khamenei on the 28th of February, Iran's Assembly of Experts... they made him the leader. Yep, old broke dick. Definitely the leader now. By a decisive vote, key political leaders, the powerful Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, and the armed forces were quick to pledge their allegiance and backing of the new leader. Iran's President Mossad Pezeshkian said that the appointment heralded a new era of dignity and strength for the nation. Critics have noted that a father-to-son succession would be politically sensitive in the Islamic Republic. Khomeini himself had reportedly opposed his son's candidacy, while an Islamic source close to his office telling Reuters in 2024 that the leader did not want to witness a return to hereditary rule, which many Iranians view as undermining the 1979 revolution that ousted the U.S.-backed monarch of Shah Mohammad Reza Pahlavi.
I want to point out a couple of things here. We get the tradition of the Vatican, of the white smoke rising, being a signal they've selected a new pope. Well, the 12ers do it differently. It's the exact opposite. When black smoke rises from a building in Tehran, they need to select a new Ayatollah. It's the other way around. It's the other way around. And since we're on our third Ayatollah in this many weeks, I wouldn't really get all in depth into studying the life of Mojtaba because he's not going to be here for very long.
Yeah, when you get that job, the benefits package doesn't even have health care. It only has a funeral plan.
Right.
Now, listen, I'm just excited because the way I understood it, if you get 4 Ayatollahs, the 5th one's free.
Oh, wow. You have a card you punch? Or?
That's what, yeah. Got little chalk outlines on it, Speaking of making those chalk outlines, nothing really particular about this video other than...
Hold on. Before we go on, I want to address the $2 Rumble rant by Hunch. Because it applies directly to fathers and sons. Didn't we learn from al-Sadr in Iraq, putting the retard son instead of dad is a bad idea? I would hardly call Mojtaba al-Sadr a retard. He's a brilliant tactician and a pretty smart military man, and that was our problem. I wish he had been a retard. It would have made our life much easier. But Mojtaba knew what he was doing, and bad dude. I will not be sad on the day when he dies. So
yeah. With that said, here's just some moto video. I just enjoy watching stuff blow up. If you don't like watching stuff blow up, I don't know, spend 20 seconds doing something else, I guess. Ooh. Bye-bye, artillery. Oh, hold up. Hold up. That looks very familiar, Joe.
I'm sorry.
Is that one of our Hawks?
I don't know. I can't tell.
It's got the 3 missiles mounted, tri-mounted on a trailer. I'm pretty sure that's going to be one of our Hawk systems.
Oh, could be, yeah. Well, it used to be.
The scrap metal market in Iran has just gone through this rough.
And we have one last story to cover before we go. You thought the show was getting decommissioned, and it turns out we've got a little left in us, just like the Nimitz. The U.S. Navy has given a lifeline to the USS Nimitz CVN-68 and announced it won't be decommissioning her till March of 2027. Just to remind everybody, she had already technically been called decommissioned. They were already starting the process. So they're pulling her out of the line. One more year for this giant aircraft carrier that has served so proudly. We're going to need her, is what I'm hearing out of this.
Here's the thing. Yeah, we need it. So we can't just keep dropping these things out. The news that would really tell me that we know a Pacific war is coming is when we start pulling battleships out of retirement, putting them back in the water.
Yeah, when the New Jersey sets sail, I'm in.
And there's a lot of commentary about the Lincoln. Guys, they've sunk the Lincoln like 36 times since this war began. So I will point out that there was indeed a fire on board in a restroom, which leads me to believe it was probably sabotage, but it is out, and it was not caused by enemy action.
Well, folks, that's all I got for the news for today. Let's go around the horn. Joe, what do you got for the folks for the next couple of days?
We did a great local show on Friday about gathering intel and how you do that and how to prepare for that. What I think we'll do is it was all in anticipation of the No Kings 2.0 protest on the 28th. I think on the 27th, we'll do another live on locals for a quick touch base and having a chat about last minute preps to get out there and actually start gathering some info on your opposition during these protests. So watch for that to happen. And watch also for the left to continue to shout in support of people who chant "Death to America." But you're going to see some pro-Iran protests by the American left because they're just that stupid.
All right. I can't argue with you on that. Blaine, anything for the folks
I'm all
there?
about the next war at this point. We're running out of things to blow up there, which is a good thing. I think this is going to be interesting because between this and Venezuela, it has sent a very clear message to other countries as to the capability of the United States to project its power and its will. And we'll have to see where that goes. I mean, I don't imagine Putin is happy about this or Zhang.
Yeah. Well, actually, it's funny you should mention that because this weekend did see the largest Taiwan Strait incursion by Chinese forces in history. I don't know if anybody else saw that. It was both like 70 some odd aircraft and then multiple naval vessels pulling into the Taiwanese EEZ.
They missed their opportunity while Biden was in office.
They really did.
That was the time to pull that off.
I don't know. We're expending missiles at an absolutely ridiculous rate right now, so they may be getting another really good opportunity.
Maybe.
Facts. All right, folks. Well, as far as what I have to say, that's it. I'm watching the Taiwan Strait right now because I think China's feeling froggy. I think they wiped out their military leadership for a reason, and the reason was not to then do nothing with the new people that they put in their place. So, well, we appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for being here. We'll see you again Wednesday, same time, same station. And until then, stay safe.